Ms. Polar to present their deputation. Can I ask that you keep to your allowed 5 minutes, please? And following questions from members to the deputation, Cabinet members will be given 3 minutes to respond. Okay. So, can we have the first deputation, please?
First and foremost, I would like to thank those who have come down to support us through our campaigning to keep the Youth Club open. I'm pretty sure you're aware of how important the youth service is for us. I'd like to begin by making a few things clear, because to be quite honest, the Council haven't. Apart from a draft consultation that, may I add, was not factual and didn't clearly state what the proposed cuts would entail. The youth seem to be just as clueless as the Council are on what they are going to cut and how the budget is going to be spent within the youth provisions. Jason Arthur stated, youth provision should be more than just youth. I believe it's called youth services for a reason. Youth provision becoming more than just youth makes it pointless in calling it a youth service. And well, to be honest, sounds like a waste of money. Money that the Council was supposedly struggling with, but seemed to be happily spending on hefty pay packets of £450 a day for consultants such as Interim Head of Youth Services. From the draft consultation that I will quote, many now believe that the service doesn't really give young people the help and advice they need, particularly in areas like sexual health, emotional skills and employment. The youth service does provide emotional skills and support. In addition to this, they also help those looking for job opportunities by running CV workshops, and they also have workshops running on sexual health. All this was said in the supposed draft corporate plan to not be delivered at Bruce Grove Youth Centre. Through previous meetings we have had with council members, they have stated that the first consultation that I have here was only a draft. Draft, which means rough copy, not finalised, to be established. So considering the definitions, I don't understand why it was published online and posted to certain residential members, considering the reasons why we are here is because of a change in how much money the council will be getting. Printing draft booklets, in colour may I add, is surely a waste of money of the already pitiful budget. Are we wrong in thinking that?
In addition to what has been said, the workers also work with young people with special needs and young people who are high-risk gang members who have been moved from a different youth club setting to Bruce Grove. We as a whole believe that so far the meetings we have had with various councillors and senior managers have not been consultations at all. What we would like to happen in all forthcoming consultations is that the councillors who are present there and the senior managers actually listen to us and what we're asking for, and take it all into deep consideration when making decisions about the future of our youth service. We would also like for them to speak to us in a way that we can all clearly understand, instead of their lingo which leaves us bamboozled as to what we have been told. Also, we would like to ask to have an independent person to attend all of our meetings, give advice to us, and to ensure that all of our opinions are considered and explained to you all. Now that we know that post the cut, the youth service will have a budget of £500,000 for each of the 3 years, and the centre will remain open, we would like to take the next step and ask, how will the youth centre be run post the cuts? This being in regards to who will be running the centre and on what days and what time the centre will be open. In connection to priority 4 of the draft strategy plan relating to our safety and well-being, we currently have an amazing set of youth workers who we all feel safe and secure around and who we know have experience with young people. So again, we hope that this is...
Can I ask you to round up now, please? Can you summarise now, please? Thank you. Jodie and Monique, thank you very much for a really important presentation. And I will now ask members if they've got any questions.
Thank you very much for that. You rightly stressed that you want councillors to listen to you as you go forward. Just wondering what specifically you want to see in terms of improvements in the way that Haringey delivers its youth services.
Well, I know that we would like to not have youth service merge with youth offending service, first of all. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's first and foremost. Yeah, we don't want the youth service to be unmerged with youth offending, and we'd also like to keep the staff that we currently have at the youth centre.
Thank you. Any other questions? Councillor Arthur?
Thank you very much, and thank you for that deputation. Oh, yes. One thing that I did want to clarify, just because you quoted me at the start, was to say that I think the point that I was trying to get across during the call-in last week was that our youth service should go beyond youth centres. So obviously youth centres have to be part of the youth provision that we provide and the strategy that we provide, which is why we've committed to keeping Bruce Grove open, that our strategy should go beyond that. And so apologies, first of all, if I misspoke and made it seem as though I was saying youth service should be beyond youth. But with that clarification, does that to you seem like a
Councillor Arthur, is that
approach?
a question?
Yeah. My question is, does that seem like a sensible approach, so that we should have a strong youth service and centre, but actually our youth service should go beyond just what's provided at Bruce Grove?
Well, the youth service that we have currently, there's nothing wrong with it at all. It shouldn't be outreached further. The way it works now is perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. But the council are now putting it under scrutiny because they don't have enough money to run it. That is not our problem. The way that it's run is perfect. How it is, it shouldn't be changed.
And in addition to that, how can we outreach to outside youth centres when at the moment we're not even sure if the youth centre that we have now is going to be safe? We can't outreach outside of something that we're not clearly sure that we have now. Like, we know that we have the budget and the centre, but do we actually have the same services that we currently have now? Are we going to have the same stuff? We can't outreach if we're not sure basically at home if everything's okay before we go out.
Thank you. Very good. Has anyone else got any questions? No. Councillor Waters.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And thank you very much, both of you, for your presentation, which I hope I can match. I think I'll go through the points you've raised as quickly as I can, given I have 3 minutes. We are aware that there is a provision at Bruce Grove, and let me say at the outset that we intend to keep Bruce Grove, so don't worry. That is, we have said that and we will stick with that. But we do need to make sure that all children, all young people in the borough, or more young people in the borough, have access to sexual health, to information about better sexual health, better information about job opportunities. It's not just what is delivered in Bruce Grove. We need to look wider. I will then go on to, you raised the question of young people with special needs. I think we are all very conscious of the need to make sure that we look after them properly. And you can that is the case in terms of any provision we make. It is very important to all of us. Children with special needs, children at risk, get particular attention. As far as the consultations go, you say you think we're not listening. I can assure you we do listen to what you say. But we are listening to you and trying to make things work in the context of cuts which we are having to implement. So while we'd like to deliver everything you'd like us to deliver, we cannot always do it, and we have to work within that limited envelope. If you say that you can't understand the language we use, we will seek to simplify it so that you can understand it. If that's what you want.
Can you please?
I'm responding to what they asked for. You ask how will the Bruce Grove be run? Who will run it? And when it will be open? These are all issues we want to work with you to sort out. I can't answer about it. We need your help.
You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. We will endeavour to keep as... My final point, we acknowledge... Shh. Thank you for commenting.
Can you let
at
us
the
speak,
start
please?
At the youth at Bruce Grove are perfect. We will do our best to look very hard at all the provision and all the staff we provide to see if we can keep as many as we can to provide that perfect service. But it is not a promise to keep staff. Sorry. But thank you very much for coming tonight.
Thank you, Seema, Jodie and Monique.
So she's allowed.
Thank you very much.
We're 1,000 miles from comfort. We have traveled land and sea. But as long as you are with me, there's no place I'd rather be. I would away forever, exalted in the sea. As long as I am with you, my heart continues to beat. With every step we take, Kyoto to the bay, strolling so casually. We're different and the same, gave you another name, switch up the batteries. If you gave me a chance, I would take it. It's a shot in the dark, but I'll make it. Knowing the little heart, you can't shame me. When I am with you, there's no place I'd rather be. No, 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 no place I'd rather be. No, 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 no place I'd rather be. No, 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 no place I'd rather be. We set out on a mission to find our inner peace, make it everlasting, so nothing's incomplete. It's easy being with you, sacred simplicity. As long as we're together, there's no place I'd rather be. With every step we take, Kyoto to the bay, strolling so casually. We're different and the same, gave you another name.
Stand up, no more waiting, no more faking and no debating. There's no mistaking, just know there'll be no escaping rules. As I switch up the timing, can't run from it, there's no place to hide it. Feel the fools as if it coming out hiding.